Yes, good morning and welcome to today's edition of Know Your Rights, our legal program on Lagun Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria, and the official radio of the Anglican Communion Diocese of Lagos. We are transmitting live from the Diocesan Media Center, 29 Marina, Lagos. Yes, Lagun Radio is the official radio of the Anglican Communion Diocese of Lagos. And you know what it is on Know Your Rights is our legal program where we educate you on your fundamental rights as a citizen of Nigeria. And interestingly, since the 25th of November, it's been 16 days of activism. And it is tagged activism against gender-based violence. And it will be crowned on the 10th of December with the International Human Rights Day. Of course, we have the MBA Lagos branch. That's the Nigerian Bar Association. They are here with us. Coincidentally, we have one. We are supposed to have three, but we have one. And he is the alternate chair, Human Rights Committee. He's also the Secretary, International Human Rights Day, International Human Rights Day Conference Planning Subcommittee. His name is James Shonde. Good morning and welcome to the program, Barrister James.
Good morning. Thank you very much for inviting us to this program this morning.
Okay. Now, we do hear about the International Human Rights Day. That is every 10th of December. What is it all about, the International Human Rights Day?
Well, International Human Rights Day is a day that was declared by the United Nations. It's the day that in all over the world, everybody celebrates the right of every person. And it's by the Charter. So in 1976, that was when the International Human Rights Day was declared in the United Nations in 1876. So it's a time to celebrate the rights of individuals all over the world, has been declared by the United Nations. So this year also, we are going to celebrate the International Human Rights Day on the 10th of December.
Okay, on the 10th of December. Now, the topic for this year is the human rights in crisis, addressing the challenges facing Nigeria. Is human rights in crisis in Nigeria?
Well, yeah, you notice that human rights is in crisis, and the reason why this theme is so peculiar to us is because we have looked at the situation in Nigeria and how rights of individuals has been infringed upon. And that was why we said human rights in crisis, addressing the challenges. So many challenges are facing individuals as per their rights, and that is why we have chosen this theme for this year, for speakers to come and speak on this, and for public to come around to ask questions about how and where their right has been infringed upon and find a solution to it.
Okay. Well, this is very, very deep when we talk about the human rights. Now, addressing the challenges facing Nigeria. A lot of Nigerians don't know their rights. As a body, the MBA, what is the MBA doing to educate Nigerians on their rights?
Well, MBA is doing a lot to educate Nigeria, particularly through the Human Rights Committee, and that is why every MBA branches has arm of the human right, and that is why the vice chairman of every branch is the chairperson or chairman of the Human Rights Committee. So through the human rights, even at national too, because that is the team or the logo or for Nigerian promoting the rule of law. So MBA is actually trying through the human right to let people to know about their rights through different programs. Like for instance, MBA Lagos, we did a sensitization work just a few days ago, walking around Lagos Island to let people know their rights. You have a right under the Constitution, and this right must be protected. So MBA is doing a lot to sensitize people about their rights. And this Human Rights Conference, too, International Human Rights Day Conference, is another part of the program to enlighten people about their rights. That's just it.
Okay. Having said this, let's go back to the 16 days of activism. What is the work you had part of the 16 days of the activism?
Yes, it's part of the 16-day activism because we must have different programs.
Okay.
During these 16 days, but other programs are still there too. We are visiting the correctional center now. We are having a meeting with the Controller General of the Correctional Service Center. We're having a meeting with Commissioner of Police. So all these activities are to ensure that this 16 days of activism is well encompassed and for every stakeholders to be carried along. And as we do all these things, people get to know more about their rights. Stakeholders get to know how to relate with public when it has to do with their rights. We are not saying law enforcement should not do their work, but while they are carrying out their work, they must do what? They must recognize the right of the public, the right of the citizen while they are doing their work. So that is the essence of these 16 days of activism.
Okay. Now, let's talk about a bit of the human rights in Nigeria. Now, one particular incident where everyone is talking about recently is one of your members, Barrister Dele Farotimi.
Yes, he's a legal practitioner, so he's one of us.
But sometime I heard him say he's a retired lawyer. I don't know if he said it jokingly or so. And he is, in fact, what the MBA is preaching about, is talking about, is what he is passing through now. Some people have said or have alleged that his human rights has been trampled upon with what is happening currently. What can we, as a layman out there, can we understand what's going on with Dele Farotimi and a Rev'd son, Ifedola?
Okay, well, on the issue of that, he's a retired, let me start it from there. He's a retired lawyer. Well, he might say that jokingly, once you are called as a lawyer, you are a lawyer. So whether you practice or you do not practice, until you are the bar. So if you have not the bar, if your name has not been struck out of the list of the bar, so you are still a lawyer, whether you practice or not. So that's number one. Then number two, as concerning the issue now with Chief Ifedola. Well, to a layman, you say, what is happening? What is going on? And there are a lot of different views about what is going on. In actual fact, you see, a lot of things are happening, and this is what I'm going to say. Well, it's my own opinion anyway. His right has been infringed upon. First of all, we are saying whether it's libel or defamation, under the law, particularly in Lagos State, libel is not a criminal action. But because of the people that are involved, then I can't say that powers are playing. Because ordinarily, the essence of bail is to allow the individual, the accused or the defendant, to be able to defend himself. So bail is not to make the person to be incarcerated. And also, he's the lawyer. So even if he has, assuming even it's a criminal offense, all what is alleged on all the counts, 16 counts charge that was preferred against him, he still has a right to be granted bail. Also, he's a lawyer, and it's not just an ordinary lawyer. At least it's a well-known lawyer even in the whole nation. So he could have been granted bail on recognizance. So by that, people will know that, this man has been granted bail. What he said was wrong, what he said was right. But at least he will have been granted bail on self-recognizance, and let him come and defend himself. But for him to just, without bail or giving him student bail to be met is something that is what we are talking about right.
But and some people will say, if this can happen to a known lawyer, what about the ordinary man? That will lead us to the topic again, human rights and crisis in Nigeria. So if this can happen to a Rev'd lawyer, what about a common man who is out there who don't even know his rights?
Exactly. That is the reason why we are saying that what has been done, self-recognition, people will still have trust, people will still have belief, even in our system. Because people will be looking, general people, we might say fine, even what he has done is a criminal offense. What we are saying is that the fact that he wasn't granted bail as a lawyer goes a long way for people, for layman to say, oh wow, look at this man, a big lawyer like that. was not even given bail. So who am I? Even if I'm, so who am I not to be given bail? So